As usual, translations change the whole nature of original texts and of original ideas. Something that Judaism actually shares with Islam, and it's not really even known that much in Judaism, is the concept of die before you die. The only problem is that's not what the words mean. You know, in Islam, they bring it down as Qiblan, Qiblan, which does mean before, but it also means until. As a conjunction, it means until. We bring it down in English through Judaism also, when some places it says mut ad shelo tamut, and they translate it as die before you die. The only problem is ad, ayin dalet, means until. So it's die until you die, not die before you die. Die before you die has a connotation, a denotation, or rotation, to mean once, that you should die before you die. When you have a word meaning until, it's die till you die. That means individual units of perpetual death. It brings it down into the daily. Die today, die tomorrow, die the next day. It brings it down into the individual moment. You die every moment, because in the final analysis, your rebirth is every moment with every new breath. It's a death. It's a rebirth. It's a death. It's a rebirth. Every breath gives you a rebirth. And there's dying. There's dying before you die. It's die until you die, every breath. You have to let go of the animal soul. Only by let going of the animal soul can you be in the godly soul. And even for those that don't have a godly soul, there's a spiritual aspect in the animal soul. It's a die until you die. It's just not once, it's perpetual. So basically there's, I think that this bodily happiness comes out of the animal soul. I don't really see it in the godly soul. And that's why I think they break a glass at the wedding. They step on a glass to bring some sort of recognition of this collapse. This ed of al until ayin dalet just so happens to be the two large letters in the Shema. And what do the martyrs have on their lips when they die? The Shema. because they have the Shema on their lips until Ad, until they die. And so you have at minimum 2 times a day the ability to have the Shema and to have this until you die, because at the Shema you die. You die at the Shema. It's the martyr's death. It's an extinguishing of the self, of the ego self. And what do we do on the Shema? We close our eyes and we put the hand over our eyes to close them, because the eyes are the desire. One gets desire through their eyes. And so if you can't see, you have no desire. No physical animal desire. And this is brought down into some, the eyes are closed because the eyes are never satisfied. And that's in Tamid 32a, that satisfaction in the eyeball, the golden eyeball, and stuff like that. Eyeballs of gold and silver, because it's desire. So we close them for the Shema. We have no desire, and we can hit maybe a space, a moment of, like whoever they were, Rabbi Akiva, I don't know who they were, died with the Shema on their lips, because they were a witness, an ad, to until they die. It's a until you die. You have to perpetually be in a death state. And this is the beauty. So when you say mut ad shelo tamut, it's die until his death. Your death. In any possibility, you choose death. Death of the ego. Let's die until you die is the real thing of die before you die. I'm going to be doing more of this because the translation has ruined everything.